Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm passionate about fitness and I love my city. This is a show about discovering Montreal's awesome fitness world, but it's also about celebrating those who are using sports to make a difference. This is Fitness for Vibe. Today on the show, we'll be visiting Julina's Academy of Mixed Martial Arts, also known as Gamma. They'll be taking us through some very cool moves, and will be showing us the exhilarating world of kicks, punches, but most importantly, mental strength. Then we'll be visiting a wonderful organization called Apex. They live and breathe martial arts and have found a way to make their passion accessible to kids who couldn't otherwise afford it. It's very cute, you'll see. It's impossible to trace the exact origin of martial arts, but some of the first depictions of fighting go back 4,000 years ago, where ancient Egyptian paintings show humans physically battling one another. Martial arts are combat techniques used as a means of self-defense. They are practiced and used in the military, law enforcement, competitions, and they can also be used for general physical fitness as well as for cultural practices. Philip Jolinas is the owner of Gamma. When I met with him, I became quickly aware of how passionate he was about martial arts. He knew an impressive number of facts about the culture and the history of the art, and his determination to spread word of it was infectious.
The world of martial arts is not the exclusive property of one small group of people. Martial arts have been practiced by every culture, in every country, all over the world. We normally think of the Japanese and Chinese because they have such an advanced society as far as organizational things are concerned. So they would do, in Japan, you'd see judo and karate and aikido and kendo and, God help us, ninjutsu, and all these other martial arts. And then in China, you'd see the wushu and different forms of kung fu, and you'd think, wow, that must be it. But as you look back historically, most of the arts in China preceded it by arts in India. An awful lot of the Kali arts that come up, if you look historically, the arts left India, went down through that peninsula, through Thailand and Burma and into Indonesia, and then up into the Mahalikas, which was the name of the Philippines in those days. So you just see how things evolved and how things moved.
You wouldn't believe how many unique forms of combat have been developed over the years. Let me just say there are presently over 100 different styles of martial arts. So, how do you choose which one's for you?
Martial arts are like a buffet. You don't have to eat everything. You just have to know it's all there. And then you choose what you want.
So why should someone take up martial arts over another sport?
Well, the big question to ask is, what is the best exercise? And the answer that most people don't understand is, it's the one you'll do. If you think it's the best thing in the world, and you keep doing it, then it is the best thing for you. And martial arts, in its own kind of way, is the same thing. You practice the basic techniques, and as you get better at them, you're more efficient, you're stronger, you're faster. These are all improvements of your physical ability. So that's the reason why you should do it.
Philip believes in all forms of martial arts, and as you can see, he doesn't think one is necessarily better than the other. That's why he offers many different styles at Gamma. We got to see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and Kajikembo.
Jiu-Jitsu. It's primarily a grappling class, so most of the techniques are learned while you're on your knees or on your back. You learn how to do an arm bar. It's extending your arm this way. Another one is omoplata, which is a shoulder lock, which turns your hand this way. Another one is kimura, which is doing the same thing, but with the hands. There are so many ways of doing things that are, I mean, if you see these people, it's kind of like they're doing a physical chess because they're doing this, stepping, and crossing back. So that's jiu-jitsu. The Brazilians with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they took their evolution from the Japanese person who brought it to them, and then they started learning how to do this, and then they said, we want to be able to make this work for a small person against a very big person. So the founder, well, one of the two founders, Helio Gracie, which was a very slender man, and he would fight all of these people who were much bigger than he was, and he would create techniques that would counter the heavier, muscular-bound techniques. I mean, everybody remembers the beginning of the first UFC, and you'd have this skinny guy, Hoist Gracie, would walk out in his kimono, kind of looking geeky, doing the worst sidekick in the world, and then fighting guys who were jiu-jitsu masters and Muay Thai professionals and all sorts of different kinds of people. And what happened is that he beat them all. And how did he beat them? He would go in, he would grab them, he would hold on to them, they'd fall to the ground, and then he would either do an armbar or a choke or something like that. And people would go, oh gosh darn it, heck, it works. Muay Thai looks like a boxing match. It's primarily not a clinching situation, but you'll see a lot of clinching in it. You're allowed throwing somebody to the ground, but you're not allowed following. You're not going to see anything where somebody hits the ground, someone's going to jump on top of them and start doing more. So you'll see knees, you'll see elbows, you'll see kicks, you'll see punches, and you'll see the clinching where the knees will follow up.
So we went through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. What can you tell me about Kajikembo?
Kajikembo is a kind of an amalgam. It means it comes from Korean karate, judo and jiu-jitsu, Hawaiian kempo, and Chinese boxing. These are the 5 arts that went into its creation. If I've trapped you somewhere, let's say I've trapped you in a phone booth, well, it's going to be a grappling situation, but then if you use your knees to my groin and fingers to my eyes, I'm going to probably start stepping back, and so you'll try to create more distance between us. But if you're a bigger person and you see yourself at the same size, well, then maybe you're going to want to close with me and choke me and then put me out that way. Or maybe I'm fighting you and 3 of your friends. So I have to create an understanding of the tactical situation of what happens in a larger group. What I need to do is not just fight you, but fight you so that I put you so that whoever I'm fighting, I'm not fighting you and you and you and you. I'm fighting you, and I'm trying to get other people behind you. So that's the difference of what you're going to see. So there's a certain idea that you want to practice, and so each one uses its own particular version of how things would work in that environment to approach it and train from there.
Philip's extensive knowledge and enthusiasm for martial arts is contagious, so it's only normal that his students share his passion. Peter Moray is one of them.
Well, martial arts has been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. I loved watching the movies, and then when I actually got involved in it, that was it. I was hooked. My focus has been on Jeet Kune Do and Kali. Jeet Kune Do is the style that Bruce Lee made. It's more of a philosophy, absorb what is useful, and using no way as way. So basically, you learn different martial arts techniques, and you choose which ones are honed for you.
What would you say your style is?
Well, I like speed and I like kicks, so I use a lot of my kicks for ranging and my speed when it comes to the trapping range.
And what about Kali? What is that?
Kali is a Filipino military weapons-edged system. For training purposes, we use these sticks called rattan, but it's supposed to represent swords, so it's mostly a bladed weapon system.
All this talk about martial arts made me want to give it a try, so I asked Peter to show me some moves.
I'm going to show you a very basic kicking and punching combination. So basically, because we're in this lead, the left lead is here, we attack with this because it's closer to the target, so it takes less time and it's more direct. The philosophy as well is to have everything flow. So when I'm doing it, I'm going to come with a kick to the body. Now, because I'm landing with my left leg, I want my energy to flow. So when I'm landing, I'm just going to follow right through with the cross. So I'm here, I'm going to kick, and then I'm going to cross. Then I'm going to hook, cross, and see my body positioning and hips, everything is set up so I can follow up with the kick, sorry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the focus mitts, you're going to put the gloves on, and we're going to try that combination so you have a feel of how it feels to actually contact.
Okay.
Okay? Put these on.
Thank you.
They're a little big, but it's okay. You don't have to go hard. Now just watch when you're doing that cross, your left hand is dropping. So you're leaving your head open. So you want to try to keep your head protected at all times. So when yeah, exactly,
okay,
better.
like
Chin down too.
Okay.
So here, that's better. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you have the balance, you have the range, distancing, you have your defense, like you said, having your hands where they need to be to defend, your chin down, and just work those things, and your flexibility so that you can get the proper movements. All of that will play.
Hopefully, all of this is making you want to try this sport. And if you're wondering what style to choose, here's what Philip had to say about that.
There is no martial art that's really the best of the best of the best, no matter what publicity says, because it's not the martial art, it's the person practicing it. And that is above all. And that's why you have to find something that you enjoy doing. And by enjoy doing it, you will be the best at it that you can be.
I believe that you do hard work, you sweat hard, you get hit, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, there's this calm and this relaxation that happens after that is so amazing. It's kept me sane. If I didn't have martial arts, I believe I would not be where I am now in my life.
I have to say, I've heard too many people trash the sport of martial arts by deeming it an excuse to fight or pinning it as an anger management course. Philip sets the record straight here in a beautiful way.
What you're getting from martial arts is the focus, the concentration, the physical exercise, the understanding of how things work, how to succeed or how to survive under the pressure of that situation, how not to lose your mind and how not to become violent. You'll find a lot of people who have never done martial arts who are very violent. Martial arts by themselves are not violent. People are violent.
And that is something to keep in mind. Martial arts don't have to be violent. As a matter of fact, Ryan Parsons, founder of Apex, is using them to improve people's lives. He runs a summer camp for kids in Ville Saint Laurent and has found a way to give back to his community through martial arts.
When I was 17, I got downtown, I got robbed, and I got beat up, and I didn't want to feel like a victim. It was something that was really traumatic, and I was scared to take the bus, and I was scared to take the metro, and I wanted to find something that was gonna empower me and make me feel strong and feel confident again. And I started doing martial arts, and I realized that it had this, beyond the physical element, there was like an emotional side to it, and it was really just empowering, you know. And it's kind of corny, kind of cliche, but literally, like my second class, I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life, and I just set down that path, and I didn't look back.
That path has taken Ryan to win world championships, open his own business, and most recently, give underprivileged kids a chance to learn a sport that has personally changed his life.
3 years ago, a friend of mine runs a nonprofit organization, Centre Solaris, Dimitri, and he approached me and he asked, would you be interested in sponsoring some kids that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford the program? I thought it was a great idea. I'm running the camp anyway, and I'm teaching the kids anyway, and especially when I started looking at the numbers, and it's true, like the stats were staggering. It's like 1 in 3 families in Canada can't afford to send their kids to sports or extracurricular activities. And I mean, 1 in 3, and Canada's this first world wealthy country, and still we can't even take care of our own people, right? And then you look at the disproportionate amount of, obese and overweight kids in underprivileged communities. The emotional problems that a lot of these kids, they face, whether it's growing up with a single parent or growing up in a rough neighborhood, and the kind of challenges that they face on a daily basis, it's something that the martial arts can absolutely benefit.
Oh, good.
Carol Alalouf, whose 2 kids train with Ryan, seems to agree.
What kind of change have you seen in your kids?
It's an incredible confidence builder. Like, neither of them were so into some of the typical sports that a lot of their friends were into, like soccer or basketball, etc. And when they discovered this, it became their thing, the thing that really belonged to them. And the coach is really fantastic. He's got an incredible presence and a real command of the class without ever having to raise his voice. And he just really talks to them about issues also. He talks to them about bullying and how to handle difficult situations. So I think they've really evolved as a result, really grown from the experience.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
In terms of the number of kids we were able to sponsor this year, it's been every year it's grown, and this year was the biggest. We were able to sponsor, I think it was like 32 weeks of camp, and because of that, we were able to keep kids all, the whole month and really get to watch them improve, not only in their technique, but in their problem solving, their conflict resolution, and just mature over the course of just 1 month.
Hey, stop being a bully!
Apex's team of staff and volunteers are as passionate about the sport as they are about the kids and about Ryan.
It's fun to just see kids who are in love with the same passion as I am and being able to interact with them and play with them and do the thing I love with them. The main thing they learned is respect. They gain strength, they gain confidence. Depending on the kid and depending on their experience in martial arts prior to what they've done here, they also gain emotional strength.
My coach Ryan is like a father for me. He's always there for the fighters. He's a really good person, but also we have a really good striking, Muay Thai, and I become more humble, more focused, and more happy. Yeah, also more happy.
Most important part of martial arts is
Apex's commitment to the kids has expanded to an annual fundraiser gala organized by a keen team of volunteers.
I started working out here for a little bit, and then I heard about the camp that they were going to be offering to some kids and that there was going to be underprivileged kids involved, and I was asked to jump on board and help organize a fundraiser. I believe in Apex. I really like what they do, and I thought it was a great opportunity to help them out and help some kids at the same time.
We have professional athletes and UFC fighters and Olympic athletes coming in, and it's great to see, somebody of, especially these Olympic athletes or these UFC athletes where, you get a chance to see the mindset that it takes to reach such a high level, because again, there's that physical element, but so much more that emotional and that mental strength, that mental toughness. It's really inspiring to see a lot of these, especially the fighters, a lot of these guys come from really tough upbringings too. So it's really fun to see when they're able to give back and they're able to participate.
Yes, martial arts can help build essential life skills like respect and confidence. But there's another vital benefit that comes with being integrated in a diverse community.
So the camp runs a month every year. And really what you see is at the beginning, you'll have the natural, friends, the cliques, the kids from the Apex gym know each other, so they hang out together. Some kids from certain ethnic communities will naturally gravitate towards each other. And so at the beginning of the camp, you have this kind of separation between the kids. And what I love to see is that by the end of the first week, and as the camp progresses, those lines, those social barriers kind of break down, and those socioeconomic, segregation breaks down, and kids, at the end of the day, they're just kids. I've had, parents tell me that they've been able to take their kids off drugs like Ritalin for their ADD or ADHD. It's every week I hear, oh, my kid's doing better at school, or my kid's paying better attention, or he listens better at home, or she does her homework better, or she's helping around the house more. So I'm always getting that kind of positive feedback from the classes themselves. But then the parents, that absolutely every single parent wants the best for their kid. And I can only imagine, when you can't, just because of financial reasons, can't provide opportunities for your kid, it must be really difficult and really frustrating. So, yeah, absolutely. So the kids and the parents are all so appreciative of the opportunity.
And there's no doubt that the kids are appreciative. We asked them to tell us how they felt about Apex in one word, and this is what they said.
Wait, you gotta get in line. Super. c'est the best. Super.
Alejandro is the best.
Ice cream. The best. Super. Cool. Honey bunny. Classy. I love you.
But if you're thinking it's too late for you to get into the sport, Ryan has one last thing to say about that.
There's no age for martial arts. Everybody can get something out of it. For the younger kids, the confidence, the coordination, the balance, the life skills that they're going to use moving forward. And then even the older generations, to maintain the mobility and to maintain their health. Of course, the training is not going to be the same for a 4-year-old kid or somebody who's looking to compete and fight or for somebody who's 40 years old. But anybody who wants to come and who wants to improve and wants to work hard and wants to bring something positive to the group, that's the only thing I ask, right? And so I don't care how old or how strong or how fit, that doesn't matter.
Turns out martial arts is not only punching and kicking, it's actually an incredibly rich practice that requires patience, self-control, and most importantly, discipline. The good news is that the benefits are just as much mental as they are physical. So, are you ready to give this a try? Join us next time as we continue to explore Montreal's fitness world.